Some nights slip by unnoticed until they don't. A casual invite, a shared drink, a fleeting glance, then a confession that turned my quiet life upside down. Nora's smile held a secret. Caleb's voice carried a weight, and suddenly I realized this wasn't just another evening with friends. Before I share what unfolded, have you ever found yourself in a moment that rewrote your story? If so, hit subscribe. Life has a way of catching us off guard. I'd lived in the city for years, my apartment a sanctuary of routine, since my husband passed a decade ago. At 43, I'd settled into my role as the steady one, the graphic designer who worked late, the mentor who offered advice, the woman who'd forgotten how to feel alive. That changed when Nora moved into the building across the street. She was 24, a budding photographer with a wild streak, her auburn hair always a mess, her laugh a melody that echoed through the halls. She'd knock on my door with a new photo project, asking for feedback, her energy a stark contrast to my measured calm. Through her, I met Caleb, her best friend since high school, a 25-year-old musician with a quiet intensity, his dark eyes always searching, his guitar case a constant companion. They brought color to my grayscale world, and I found myself looking forward to our chats, their youth reminding me of a version of myself I'd buried long ago. We'd often meet on the rooftop of my building, a hidden spot with a view of the city skyline, string lights twinkling against the night. It became our ritual, Nora with her camera, Caleb with his guitar, me with a bottle of wine, the three of us trading stories under the stars. I felt like their guide, someone who'd seen more of life, but their vibrancy stirred a longing I couldn't name. I'd been alone for so long, the ache of solitude, a dull hum I'd learned to ignore until they made it impossible to tune out. One humid Friday evening, Nora texted me, "Rooftop tonight? Drinks on us." I hesitated, my laptop still open with a half-finished design, but the pull of their company was stronger. I changed into a simple linen dress, grabbed my keys, and headed up. The rooftop was bathed in golden dusk, the city lights just starting to flicker on. Nora was there, barefoot, her sundress catching the breeze, setting up a small speaker for music. Caleb leaned against the railing, tuning his guitar, his casual t-shirt stretched across his frame. "You made it," Nora called, handing me a glass of rosé with a grin that lingered a beat too long. We settled into our usual rhythm, Nora snapping candid photos, Caleb strumming a soft melody, the wine loosening our laughter. We talked about dreams, failures, the kind of music that breaks your heart. But as the sky darkened, the mood shifted, subtle but undeniable. Nora set her camera down, her gaze locking on mine, a spark of mischief in her green eyes. Caleb's playing slowed, his attention shifting between us, a quiet intensity in his posture. I felt the air change, a current I couldn't place. Nora slid closer on the blanket we'd spread out, her knee brushing mine. "We've been meaning to tell you something," she said, her voice low, deliberate. My stomach flipped. "What's that?" Caleb set his guitar aside, leaning forward, his voice steady. "You've been more than a mentor to us," he said. "You've woken something in us." I blinked, my pulse quickening. Nora's hand rested lightly on my arm, her touch warm, electric. "If you're up for it," she murmured, "we'd love for you to stay, really stay." The words hung heavy, and instead of retreating, instead of laughing it off, I nodded, my breath shallow. A charged silence fell, the city's hum fading into the background. Then Nora leaned in, her lips brushing my cheek, a tentative, teasing gesture that sent a shiver through me. Her hands moved gently, tracing my arms, each touch sparking a warmth I'd forgotten I could feel. Caleb shifted closer, his presence a steady heat beside me, a soft anticipation in the air before his hand found my shoulder, his touch firm yet careful. A quiet sigh escaped me. I'd known desire before, but not like this, not this shared, electric pull. Nora's fingers skimmed my collarbone, her touch light as a whisper, while Caleb's hand rested at my side, grounding me. I closed my eyes as Nora's breath warmed my skin, her closeness stirring my pulse, making my heart race. Caleb, more reserved, tilted my face toward him, his gaze deep with unspoken want, before his lips met mine. Steady, deliberate, a connection that sent a tremor through me. I felt caught between their energies, their warmth wrapping around me like a cocoon. Nora's hands continued their gentle dance, her fingers brushing my frame, igniting a fire beneath my skin, while Caleb's steady touch kept me anchored, his fingers tracing my arm with care. The air buzzed with shared breaths, soft murmurs, a rhythm that deepened as their closeness enveloped me. Nora's touch was playful one moment, intense the next, while Caleb's was calm, coaxing, their energies weaving together in a moment that left me breathless. Everything blurred, city lights, music, the ache of being so present, so alive. I gasped, my head tilting back as the tension built, a slow burn that quickened, deepened, until it crested in a rush, a wave of warmth that left me trembling, weightless, undone. Caleb's grip tightened briefly, a low sigh escaping him, while Nora's breath caught, a soft murmur against my ear as she melted into the moment too. For a long moment, we stayed there, tangled in the afterglow, the city skyline, a silent witness. Nora let out a breathy laugh. "That was something." Caleb pressed a lingering kiss to my temple, his fingers tracing lazy patterns on my hand, and I could only smile, words lost in the haze. The next morning, I stood by my window, coffee in hand, the city waking up below. The warmth of last night still lingered, a quiet hum in my veins. There was no regret, no shame, just a realization that I'd stepped into a part of myself I'd locked away. For years, I'd been the mentor, the observer, the widow who'd forgotten how to live. Last night, I'd chosen myself, reclaiming a spark I thought had died. Nora and Caleb had given me more than a moment. They'd reminded me I could still feel, still want, still be. I didn't know what the future held, but for the first time in a decade, I was ready to find out.
Have you ever had a moment that made you feel alive again? Share in the comments below. If you loved this story, don't forget to like and subscribe. Sometimes life surprises us in the most unexpected ways.